Here at Simply Aviation, we have been publishing flight reviews for almost a decade now. Time really does fly, huh? And one thing that we always did a bit differently is that we don't usually say no when an airline offers us free tickets to try them. That's the case today too. We're about to fly in business class on Oman Air, and we did not pay a penny for it. And that's something I get some of you will take an issue with. Lots of things on the internet these days are fake, exaggerated, or simply made to profit the person making it. Ads in disguise, basically. So if you don't know me or Simply Aviation, it is understandable to assume we're doing the same thing. But when I decided we would accept free tickets from airlines, I kept the mission of this channel in mind, showcasing as many different airlines and their products firsthand in as much detail as possible. So does this trip serve our mission? It does, because we have never reviewed Oman Air's business class and wouldn't have done so anytime soon, as our priority lies in making videos about economy class. There is simply no benefit for us to spend thousands of euros on reviewing the business class of a comparably small airline, especially considering many people support our work with their own financial contributions. The price of a single business class ticket can be much better spent on half a dozen economy reviews. But Oman Air wants to get the word out about their business class. That's something I'm willing to help them with, but only as long as they let us say what we want. They don't get to preview the video, and I will voice my own opinions, both the good and the bad. And they agreed to that. On my video call with them, they mentioned that they offered the trip explicitly to us because they know we would not unfairly slander them, nor be inauthentically upbeat about it. And that makes me happy because I've always tried to make our reviews fair, factual, and without drama. So today, we get to do 2 flights in business class on Oman Air, and you'll hear my honest thoughts, which won't be as great as Oman Air probably hopes they are. But I'm glad they have given us the chance to dive into this product, as it is a business class product that should be more widely known, especially now that the airline has joined the One World Alliance. After retiring its final Airbus A330 just recently, the airline now operates a simplified fleet of Boeing 737s and Boeing 787-9s. Yes, even the Dash 8s were passed on, leaving the airline with a simple and modern wide-body fleet of only 8 Boeing 787-9s, soon to be joined by a 9th frame. Of those 8 planes currently in operation, 2 planes are fitted with first-class suites. And since all other planes that used to have first-class suites have left the fleet, it is no longer sustainable to offer a differentiated first-class product with its own lounges and in-flight soft products for a grand total of 16 seats across its entire fleet. So what Oman Air has decided to do is what some airlines do already: offer an even better seat for business class guests to upgrade to. Oman Air calls this the Business Studio. This concept, having a kind of premium business class, is gaining popularity with airlines in recent years. Condor's new A330neos offer so-called prime seats. Virgin Atlantic's A330neos call them retreat suites, and even Lufthansa's new Allegris cabin has bigger business class seats that can be reserved for an additional charge. So after already covering the carrier's economy class in a recent video, we'll head down to Bangkok today and take a close look at Oman Air's lounge, followed by their new business studio, and then fly back from Bangkok, where Oman Air operates its only lounge outside of Oman, and travel in their regular business class cabin then, comparing the 2 experiences to see whether the business studio is worth it, and whether Oman Air's business class offers a good value in general. I'm excited to bring you along the journey in this exhaustingly long video, so without further ado, let's get going. Aviation geeks and frequent flyers, welcome to this new episode of our flight review series, Brutally Honest. We're in Oman's capital, Muscat, this morning, heading to the airport by taxi.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Usually, I try to use public transit to travel to and from airports, but unfortunately, Muscat makes this quite difficult, and taxis unfortunately can be quite pricey around here. The 11-minute ride to the airport is setting me back 5 Omani Rial, which is roughly 12 euros. The first entrance of the terminal leads directly to the airport's dedicated business and first-class check-in area, with staff waiting on the curb to bring your luggage to the drop-off counters for you. There, a comfy waiting area awaits, where at this time of day only a single Oman Air counter was open, and after a quick check-in, it was off to the dedicated premium passport control and security lane. It took us just 15 minutes from the curb to the lounge, which I'm sure gets even the most seasoned frequent travelers quietly weeping tears of joy. Oman Air used to have separate first and business class lounges, which has been reduced to one serving all premium customers. It's a sizable lounge with different seating areas, including some with natural light, some a bit cozier, a buffet, and staff members ready to assist you at every corner. The first dining area seemed to be somewhat a la carte, where no real buffet was set up and menu cards were on the tables. I decided to go with the South Indian breakfast, which was superb, and I also gave the pancakes a try, which were good too, albeit a bit dry. When looking at the buffet at the other end of the lounge later though, it becomes apparent the food isn't made to order, but rather the staff gets you what you want. I assume this is to reduce food waste, as 2 buffets would be too much food for the number of travelers, so one area is self-service, the other is a la carte, but with the same dishes. You can even see where they took my pancakes. On the plus side, the lounge has cozy sleeping corners. Shower rooms were available too, albeit containing just the shower. No sink, toilet, or hairdryer, just a shower and a little bench. If you ask yourself where you're supposed to dry your hair then, well, next to the sinks of the general toilet area, which is not ideal, especially not for an airline that seems so refined in many other areas. I was intrigued by the cigar lounge too, which unfortunately just turned out to be a very bland smoking room, cigars not supplied. With that lighting, it felt more like a doctor's waiting room than a high-end airport lounge. The Wi-Fi was surprisingly poor, not just here in the lounge, but across the entire airport, which has been an issue people have been complaining about since it opened. The lounge also has what appears could be a stunning outdoor terrace, which unfortunately isn't accessible to passengers. So if Oman Air installed proper shower rooms, fixed the Wi-Fi, and if permissible by local regulations, made the outdoor terrace accessible, this would be an incredible lounge. The way it is now, it has many upsides like the size, the really good food and beverage selection, and phenomenally attentive staff, making it a pleasant stop before a flight regardless. Flight 815 to Bangkok, that's us. Taking us there today is Alpha 4 Oscar Sierra Golf, a 2018 built Boeing 787-9, one of the 2 equipped with first-class seats, the other one being Sierra Foxtrot. The 2 frames mainly operate to London Heathrow and Bangkok, with the occasional flight to Jakarta at the moment. Our plane has just arrived from Heathrow, along with it brought a couple thousand live chicks. 2 jet bridges are used for boarding here in Muscat, with the forward door being reserved for premium travelers. That includes us for a change.
Second row on your right hand. Thank you.
Entering the plane through door 1, we're immediately in what used to be the separate first-class section at the front of the cabin. For this 5.5-hour flight to Bangkok, we are in 2A, one of the 8 first-class suites custom-made by Collins Aerospace, placed in a 1-to-1 layout, offering direct aisle access to all guests. This section of the plane is physically divided from the rest, and with the suite's privacy doors, you'll enjoy the utmost tranquility. The cabin was devised by Seattle-based design firm Teague, which has done extensive work with airlines including Emirates, American, and Hawaiian. They intensively studied Omani architecture and cultural heritage, putting together a hard product that differentiates itself by focusing on sophistication a bit more than on the opulence you will find aboard flag carriers of other Gulf nations. Built to be a first-class suite, This seat is now amongst the most sizable you will find as part of a business class cabin anywhere on Earth. The ottoman opposite to you comes with its own seatbelt, enabling a guest to dine with you in your own suite. Beneath that is a sizable storage compartment. Another one is being revealed by this narrow door, where you can safely store coats and blazers. Unlocking the door, you can manually retreat yourself into your little cocoon, undisturbed from the rest of the plane. Opposite the entrance, there is a literature compartment at the bottom, and the tray table is stored behind that. To my left is the control panel for the seat, and to my right an adjustable reading light and air nozzle. Hidden beneath the leather armrest is a remote control for the in-flight entertainment system, and behind that a large storage compartment with a universal power port inside, enabling me to charge my laptop while it's stored. A USB-A port offering fast charging can be found down here next to the audio port. Before departure, we are offered a welcome drink, either water, champagne, or this refreshing glass of homemade lemonade, handed to me alongside a cold towel on a little ceramic plate. Headphones and the amenity kits were handed out too, both of which we'll take a close look at later.
يرجى التأكد من وضع حقائب اليد في الخزانة العلوية أو أسفل المقعد الذي أمامكم. يجب ربط حزام المقعد عند إضاءة إشارة ربط حزام الأمان أثناء الرحلة، وذلك عن طريق إدخال الطرف المعدني في فتحة التثبيت وإحكام الربط.
As we were pushing back, the crew also welcomed business class passengers with some Omani kahwa and pitted dates. What a fabulous way to start a flight. And dare I say, the Omanis do something with their coffee that gives it this little bit of extra flavor that everyone else in the Middle East is missing out on. Delicious. As an aviation geek, one thing I always secretly look forward to when traveling in business class is this engine view you basically never get in economy. That's the kind of Rolls-Royce I'm into. Oman Air offers Dine-on-Demand in business class, a rarity that sets them apart from most others. Dine-on-Demand simply means you choose when to dine. There is no fixed time, and it's completely up to you. On our flight, we get to choose between a European-style multi-course meal, an Omani dining experience, which is of course what I want to try, and various desserts, cheeses, and other light dishes. We'll get our meal any moment, so let's use the time to quickly explore some other aspects of the flight. First thing after departure, the crew revealed another compartment. All the way at the front of the seat is a little chilled minibar, which they stock with beverages available to us at any time. As for the entertainment system, Oman Air employs Tali's Avant system, with a solid selection of movies and TV shows on offer. There's content suitable for many of its destination countries, including Western, Hindu and Urdu content alongside local options. Music and games are offered too, as were these noise-cancelling headphones. The amenity kit is put together by Amouage, an Omani luxury brand. It includes lip balm, facial moisturizer, hand and body lotion, non-alcoholic hand sanitizer, earplugs, a perfume that sounds like it's perfect for me, a bottle of mouthwash, a plush pair of eye shades, and some socks. Notably missing inside the kit is a toothbrush and toothpaste. Those are provided in the lavatories, alongside shaving kits and various eau de toilettes. Changing tables are installed too, and the business class lavatories even come with bidets, something that so far I have only encountered on Japanese airlines. With that taken care of, we can turn our undivided attention to the meal service. Frequent travelers know this is where Oman Air's business class shines brightest. Looking at the spread, it's understandable why they couldn't make their first class product work, because if this is business class, how could you even top that for first class? The subtle pattern on the tablecloth providing a beautiful backdrop, the tableware with the understated golden lines, the mountains of Oman revealing themselves to those who look closest, the salt and pepper shakers to literally top everything off. Few airlines even come close to exuding this much elegance in a business class meal service. To give you the best overview of their offering, I'm showing you the Western meal option on the return flight later in this video and the Omani option on this one. The Rukha Omaniya, or Omani selection, is best enjoyed on flights departing Muscat, where the dishes are made locally. On flights departing other destinations, such as our return flight from Bangkok, it's not offered due to the intricacies of the dishes. Starting from the left upper corner, we have a basket of warm bread rolls and some condiments. This is a traditional Omani shorba, a spiced seafood soup with prawn, squid and hamur, which is a type of white-fleshed fish common in the region. Here we have a selection of little mishkaks, grilled skewers with lamb, chicken and prawn, and a tamarind sauce, as well as a cumin chickpea salad with onion and tomatoes, and slow-smoked tuna. These appetizers alone already leave me stunned. A delicious journey through Omani cuisine, immaculately presented and flawlessly good. Oman Air also passes the butter test, by the way. No rock-solid piece straight from the fridge that rips apart your bread roll. For the main course, we can choose between slow-cooked Omani lamb and a dish with prawns. I went with a salunat rubian, an Omani prawn stew with a coconut milk-based sauce and spinach served alongside steaming white rice. Absolutely perfect in every way. To round off the meal, I felt like trying the cheese plate, which was also very good. I think this is the quiche paste with Omani honeyed kami that's mentioned in the menu. Regardless, it's phenomenal. All in all, this meal service makes me understand why Oman Air provided us with a free ticket for this flight. This is a product worth showing off. A meal that goes beyond being just food, because it's a cultural insight into a country. So high quality it actually feels luxurious. This is not as tacky as on Emirates, as mainstream fancy as on Qatar Airways. This feels like many people put genuine thought and effort into bringing passengers an extensive slice of Omani cuisine at the highest quality possible aboard an airplane. And they succeeded in that. 10 out of 10, no notes. After the meal, I was getting some work done. Free onboard Wi-Fi is still offered at no charge for passengers in Business Studio. Those in regular business class seats and economy class passengers are charged between $6 and $29 depending on the package. Unfortunately though, it doesn't work right now, but we'll hold on to this voucher. Spoiler alert, it also did not work on both of my return flights, so don't rely on the Wi-Fi working aboard Oman Air. The 8 enclosed Business Studio suites give the frontmost section of the plane a very tranquil feel. If somebody joins you on your trip, the 2 seats in the center have a removable privacy divider. The indirect lighting greatly aids the cozy atmosphere of the cabin. Each seat can be turned into a fully flat bed, which is notably wider than the one you'll find in regular business class. taking a close look at the seats show another reason why Oman Air have chosen to classify it as business class. Despite its refined finish, signs of wear and tear are obvious. There are scratches and dings all over the place, and the latch for the ottoman doesn't close anymore. These imperfections are certainly out of place in an otherwise so carefully curated product. Before we land, let us try one of the light snacks on offer. Remember, dine on demand, so we can order anything at any time. This time I simply asked for the pad see ew, stir-fried noodles with egg and chicken. A fantastic quick snack that other airlines would show off as their main course. A perfect pre-landing snack. And with that, we are already descending into Bangkok. But the question I still owe you an answer to is how Oman Air's regular business class compares. I myself am curious if the service will be as good, how much of a difference is felt when it comes to the seat itself, and most importantly, what the price difference is. At the end, that makes or breaks Oman Air's value proposition.
إلى سلامتكم وأهلا ومرحبا بكم في بانكوك. هذا مطار سوارنابهومي الدولي. توقيت المحلي يشير تمام الساعة 2 الساعة 5:33 دقيقة مساء، ودرجة الحرارة الخارجية تعادل 33 درجة مئوية.
I was in Bangkok for just 2 nights, and that also just because I arrived in the evening and departed in the morning, as daytime flights are easier to show in videos like this one. I am not here to vacation on your dime. Bangkok Suvarnabhumi International Airport is the only one outside of Oman to host an Oman Air lounge. Nowadays, it is exclusively accessible to Oman Air customers, and since the airline joined oneworld, you may now also use it when traveling on other alliance carriers. The lighting and structure give it plenty of cozy areas. In addition to various seating options, there are also sleep lounges, as well as an extensive dining area. A wide variety of beverages are on offer, as well as an extensive buffet. The staff here is also super helpful and continuously has a keen eye on keeping everything spotless. Taking us back to Muscat today is Alpha 4 Oscar Sierra Echo, a 2017 built Boeing 787-9, one that comes with only business and economy class seats.
Thank you. Hello, how are you? Good morning. How are you? Hi, I'm good. How are you? Good, thank you. Mr. David. Thank you so much. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Oman Air opted for Collins Aerospace's Apex suites. This type of a 222 configured seat is designed in a way that it still offers direct aisle access to all passengers. It does that by having extra long window side seats that have their own access point in front of the aisle seats. While being fantastic for window side passengers who get to enjoy almost infinite legroom and 3 windows all to themselves, it leaves aisle seats with quite little space. Due to this mismatch, the window seats are considerably more popular, and they were all taken by the time I got my flight ticket. But since I experienced the window seat on Gulf Air already a few years ago, it'll be interesting to see how the aisle seat compares. We are in 15J on this roughly 5-hour flight from Bangkok to Muscat. The headrest is adjustable both vertically as well as on the sides. Waiting for us already are a pillow and blanket, the same we had on the previous flight. They're super comfy and also carry Oman Air's distinctive design. Being 180 centimeters tall, the legroom is alright. I won't leave my backpack there though, that's for sure. The space under the ottoman is the only larger storage space of these seats. To our right is a little compartment that holds a water bottle and the headphones. A privacy divider can be raised that softly diffuses the light from outside. To our right over here is an adjustable reading light and a hook to place the headphones on. And this specific seat has a bit of additional storage space behind my shoulder, which you will only find on window side aisle seats like mine. The USB-A ports, audio port, and universal power port are located right next to my tushy. Before departure, cold towels and welcome drinks were offered yet again, giving me a good chance to illustrate my gripes with Collins Aerospace's Apex suites. While the seat is great for sleeping due to its privacy and long beds, the limited flat surface area is bothersome during daytime flights. This is barely enough space for the little plate and glass. Now we're pushing back and are getting ready for departure, which means it's time for some more kahwa and dates. Right as we were lining up on the runway, something happened that I have never experienced in any of my 500+ flights. Somehow, the ATC feed got connected with the intercom and you could hear the takeoff clearance throughout the cabin. Listen to this.
Oman Air, airborne contact departure 115, 125, wind 050 degrees, 10 knots, runway 02 right, clear for takeoff.
02 right, clear for...
I would love to know if any of you know how this happens. I didn't even think there was a way to bring the ATC audio feed into the cabin. After climbing out of Bangkok, I've already asked again for lunch to be served as soon as possible. This time, there isn't much to show. The lavatories and in-flight entertainment system are the same as on our inbound flight. The amenity kit, however, is of slightly lesser quality. The eye shades were cheaper, some things were differently packaged, and it was in its entirety a bit smaller. I assume this is because they still have stock they're using up from the time they had separate products, and over time will be the same amenity kit across both sections of business class. Oman Air provides complimentary sets of pajamas that are yours to keep on red-eye flights, which is a rare feature in business class these days. As for the seat, it turns into a fully flat bed too. In addition to the blanket and pillow, mattress toppers and linens are provided both in business and business studio, giving you a superbly comfy bed to sleep in. In combination with the long beds in both types of seats and the pajamas, Oman Air's business class is excellent to sleep in on red-eye flights. Since the food catered at Suvarnabhumi airport is different to that made in Muscat, the selection is more in line with the average business class product. For the appetizer, we can choose between a salad, soup, or Arabic mezze. For the entree, there is beef, fish, or a vegetarian option, and dessert, fruit, or cheese to finish. Hot and cold, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages are available at any time. Choosing the Arabic mezze was non-negotiable for me, and once again it was presented as if we were in a fine restaurant on the ground. From left to right, this is a cheese fatair, a type of savory pastry, a pumpkin kibbeh and tomato sauce, as well as some hummus, mutabal, and baba ganoush, and another warm bread basket and condiments. This isn't as spectacular as the Omani meal on our inbound flight, but it's still a very good appetizer, especially for something catered at an outstation. For the main course, I went with a beef tenderloin, with sweet potato wedges, beetroot spinach, and tarragon jus. Some type of beef is a classic option in business class, so it gives us a good idea if the airline also manages the basics. And they do not. This was hopelessly overdone. Tough to eat despite the jus, vegetables, and garlic bread rounding up the dish pretty nicely. That wasn't up to par with the rest of the catering. For dessert, I simply opted for the fruit, which was nicely presented and fresh. Afterwards, I got a coffee and cookie, and this illustrates the space issue very well. That's not a lot of stuff, but it's almost impossible to get out of the seat because you cannot put the little plates anywhere. Luckily, the table turns, but on the window side seats, you'd be screwed. The final cold towel of this trip is signaling that this long journey is coming to an end. Looking back at Oman Air and its business studio and business class, it can generally be said that the product is all around superb. The designs are immaculate, from the seats to the tableware. You're situated in a gorgeous surrounding. The highlight is definitely the food. The Omani meal out of Muscat was amongst the best I have had on any plane throughout all of my journeys, while the catering on the return flight was good, but more in line with what you might encounter aboard other airlines. All the amenities you might need are there: good amenity kits, comfy bedding, a good in-flight entertainment, and the dine-on-demand concept give you an overall pleasurable time on board. As for the new business studio, the make or break aspect is the price, and this is where it all falls apart a bit. Even though it is not called a first class anymore, Oman Air seems keen to keep its high margins. The website correctly lists it as business studio, but in the global distribution system, it is still classified as first class, showing up amongst actual first class results. This, in my opinion, is not okay, because in here, some distributors still charge first class prices, which in combination with the reduced service is simply not appropriate. Oman Air itself has more moderate prices though. Business Studio comes in at a roughly £800 premium on a one-way from London to Muscat, and that's also very steep. The seat is significantly better, there is no question about it, but whether it's worth it for you, I hope I was able to give you good insights in this video. As for Oman Air's business class in general, it's a product that certainly shouldn't hide from its bigger brothers in the region. Now that they're part of One World 2, I would say they are a great choice on plenty of different routes, and the experience shouldn't be missed.
على سلامتكم، مرحبا بكم في مسقط. نحن الآن بمطار مسقط الدولي، توقيت المحلي الشيء الساعة 12 ظهرا، ودرجة الحرارة خارجية.
With that, welcome back to Muscat. If you are still watching after maybe my longest review yet, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me. Special thanks go out to all those of you who continuously support us with paid channel sponsorships and help us invest more time and effort into these videos, making them longer and more detailed than they have ever been. If you have feedback or requests for airlines to try, do leave a comment below. Whether you are a sponsor, a subscriber, or are simply stopping by for this one video, thank you very much for coming along. From and to Muscat, Oman Air has provided us with an economy class ticket, as I specifically requested, so if you are keen to find out what their coach product is like, do take a look at that review as well. Thanks again, and until next time, safe travels.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank
Need
you.
help?
No, I'm okay. Thank you so much.